Brittingham was studying to be an airframe mechanic in the Navy. In 2008, he was on liberty with his fiancee, and they were struck by a drunk driver who was 3.5 times over the legal limit. He died, and his fiancee was severely injured. He was only 21. This little girl, Chile Velasquez, she was hit by a drunk driver 3 days before her 8th birthday. She survived the accident, but she ended up as a paraplegic, and the driver was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but was eligible for parole in 5 years. And our last one is Joey Romero. He was 18 years old. He was a high school senior. He was walking home from work when a woman who was on prescription medication that she was not supposed to be driving when she took, she jumped the curb and struck him. The driver fled the scene, and she claimed that she was so heavily impaired that she wasn't even aware that she had hit a person. He died 2 days after the accident, and the driver got 6 years in prison and 3 years of probation. So we're talking, so the reason that we're talking about drunk driving is that young people are likely to be involved in a crash at any blood alcohol content level. 33% of drivers with an blood alcohol content level over 0.08 are between 21 and 28 years old. So that affects like the majority of us. And a blood alcohol level of 0.08 is considered legally drunk. And that's about the equivalency of if a 160-pound man consumed 4 beers in 1 hour. Impaired driving can also be the result of taking recreational or prescription drugs, so it's not just alcohol. And then we provided a chart so you can see like what 0.08 looks like and some like the signs of someone's legally drunk. So like euphoria, fatigue, impairment in balance, speech, vision, reaction time and hearing, judgment, and self-control are impaired. And that's going to reduce your ability to drive a car.
Drinking and driving is a problem because it kills about 30 people a day. Younger people and motorcyclists have a higher risk of getting into an accident with alcohol. Also, it's a problem because it leads to DUIs and arrests across the country. There's about 1 million people arrested for drunk driving every year. Last year, 10,322 people died in drunk driving accidents. And like I said, drinking and driving kills about 30 people a day, which is roughly 10,076 per year, and 30% of all traffic-related deaths are due to alcohol. And a pedestrian dies in a car crash every 2 hours. Half of all pedestrians crash deaths involve alcohol in some sort of way. In 2013, 10,076 people were killed in alcohol-impaired crashes, accounting for nearly 1/3 of all traffic-related deaths in the United States. Of the 1,149 traffic deaths among children ages 0 to 14 in 2013, 17% involved alcohol-impaired driver. Drugs other than alcohol are involved in about 18% of motor vehicle driver deaths. These other drugs are often used in combination with alcohol, though. And in general, everyone's at risk, but younger people and motorcyclists have a higher risk. At all levels of blood alcohol concentration, the risk of being involved in a crash is greater for young people than for older people. Among drivers with blood alcohol content, the risk of being involved in a crash is greater for young people than for older people. Among motorcyclists killed in fatal crashes in 2013, 27% had a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or greater than 1. Nearly half of all the alcohol-impaired motorcyclists killed each year are age 40 or older, and And motorcyclists aged 40 to 44 have the highest percentage of deaths with blood alcohol contents of 0.08 or greater than 44%.
So why shouldn't you drive drunk? There's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't, but the main ones are you can get your license suspended or completely lose it, and nowadays it's hard to live without being able to drive. You can't go to work or do a whole bunch of your responsibilities. You can lose your job, insurance, or even financial aid. If you get a DUI, you can go back to your insurance agency or your job, and you can lose both of them, or you can get higher fees in insurance. You can lose a lot of time going to court, and going to court you'll be introduced with a lot of fees, so you have to pay for your mistakes. And you always have the guilt and responsibility of taking a life, and you'll never be able to get it back or change the decision you made. It will always be on your permanent record, and you'll never be able to take it out no matter what.
0.8 to 0.05. That could mean that even when you are feeling buzzed with one drink, it is will consider drunk driving. If you got pulled over a cop could prevent you from driving, which could prevent a fatal accident. Second, in rural, the share of traffic deaths attributable to drunken driving was reduced by more than half within 10 years after the standard was dropped from 0.08 to 0.05. Today, drunken driving climbs nearly 10,000 lives a year, down from 21,000 in 1982. If we keep pushing for new laws and educational resources program, we can hopefully continue lower this number. Second, I'm going to talk about the ignition interlock devices. That means before you start the car, you need to approve you have not over the alcohol limits. Currently, 17 states and 2 California countries require all convicted driver use ignition interlock devices that prevent the car from starting if the person is over the legal limits. When installed, the interlocks are associated with about a 70% reduction in arrest rates for impaired driving. Sobriety checkpoints are traffic stops where law enforcement officer assess drivers' level of alcohol impairment. These checkpoints consistently reduce alcohol-related crashes, typically by 9%.
Okay.
Okay, so here are some things that you can do to prevent drunk driving. The first is to get a designated driver. If you're going out with friends, you can take turns being the designated driver. And if you find it difficult to agree on someone, you can make incentives and say, if you drive this time, I'll drive the next time. Another option is to take a cab. Uber and Lyft are two of the latest driving services that are up and coming. Both of them operate globally. It's pretty easy to find an Uber in pretty much any city in the country. And they're both fairly cheap as well. They're usually cheaper than the price of a yellow cab. Some college campuses also offer alternative driving services. So if you're going out with friends to a party off campus, you can call a number and a cab will come pick you up for free if you're a student. And when taking a cab, you can always split the cost with your friends, so it's not as bad. If you're hosting a party, you have to be a responsible host, and that can help prevent drunk driving as well. Keep track of everyone's car keys. If at the end of the night someone is too drunk to drive, don't be afraid to take their keys away. Served food studies have proven that a full stomach can reduce the rate of alcohol absorption, and also serve non-alcoholic drinks for those people who are the designated drivers. And finally, just be responsible and know your personal limits. If you're legally old enough to drink, you should be old enough to make smart decisions. And if there's any doubt whatsoever, don't drive.